Good morning, everyone. I'm nervous. Well, as many of you know me, I've been working for Red Cross for 9 years. How it started, I had an accident, so they took me to Red Cross. It was a vehicle accident. And when I was there, I was just looking and looking, oh, they don't have this, oh, they don't have that, oh, am I gonna be alive? So after, I had to go to another hospital because of the accident. And when I was in the other hospital, I was thinking, oh, they have everything here. And in Red Cross, they don't have many things. So we need to work there. We need to do something to, to continue. Of course, they were working, but with whatever they had. So after I was better, it was somebody, many of you know I have a beauty shop. So somebody stand by my window and said, Yoli, would you like to come and help us in Red Cross? And I go, oops. I was thinking, to help but not become really part inside like we are. So I said, sure. I mean, I come and I see and maybe, and I always tell them that being in Red Cross is like a gelatin. When you make a gelatin, when it's warm and you put it in the container, and then when you put it in the refrigerator, it's there and it's hard to get it out. That's how Red Cross is. So we started, and I started talking to people about to help, which many people has. The wonderful hearts. Even if they don't need Red Cross, they come and help, because we take care sometimes 1,500 people a month, sometimes 11, sometimes 12. It varies, but not less than that. So I go to many people and say, we need help. Your maid might need it. Your gardener, their families, and many come, and maybe 60%, 70% of the people, they do not have the money to do the donation. It's a donation that they have to do. For example, the IV, includes everything, the needle and everything. Make the story short, can be 20 pesos, and the donation is maybe 28 pesos. Because we still have to make some money, we have employees, we have 45 employees. They are 24 hours. Many times people calls me and they say there is no doctor there. What happens? I'm going to explain to you why sometimes there is no doctor there. The reason is because sometimes when we have the emergencies, like a very bad accident, and they brought them to Red Cross, and they're taking care the patient. In order to take that patient to Guadalajara, sometimes they require the doctor along in the ambulance. So the doctor has to go with the patient to Guadalajara. So that's why sometimes we do have 2, 3 doctors, sometimes 1. It varies. So when they call the paramedics, the nurses, everybody's there, but sometimes they have to go. I had a customer that she made a donation, and then when she needed Red Cross, they took her and they say, well, the doctor is not here right now, but we're gonna take care of everything that we can do right now. We can talk to the doctor, but you will have the attention. And she was really upset with me later on. She says, I donated and there was no doctor, and when I explained the reason why, she goes, oh, okay. That's why I'm telling you why sometimes we don't have a doctor. Another thing too is because they make very little money. We cannot afford to pay a fortune to them. These guys, I went to give a talk in CFE. They donate every year so much to Red Cross. So they ask for a talk so we can explain to them how it happens. And many times in 7 years that I've been president, we give the talk every year. But this year, when I was giving the talk, they asked me, how much does the paramedics make every week? And I said, no, we pay every 2 weeks. And I'm not gonna lie, how much, Alejandro, do you guys make every 2 weeks?
About 2,400.
See, 2,400 every 2 weeks. So it's very hard. Really and truly is their hearts. They're really, really helping us. And I do feel bad. Sometimes I said, oh my God, they need to make more. But it goes higher and higher, and we cannot afford it with what we have. So we take care about 10% of expats. Many people think expats, they're rich, but many expats, they live here with the Social Security. They cannot afford a very expensive hospital. So we do take care about, that come to Red Cross, about 10% of the expats. When I started, it was like 1%, then it went up like 2%. We're now at 10% that we take care of them, you know. It's very, like, doctor's office is 100 pesos. You know, it's very, very, very inexpensive, and we do have good doctors. They're my doctors. When something happens to me, that's where I go. Like, you know, many people, they get their shots, they go to a regular doctor, maybe it's 200, us 30 pesos, 40 pesos. So it's really a donation. It's really very low, but because we want to help the people. What some people can afford it, and they never leave. Many of the expats, sometimes they never leave without leaving a little extra donation. You know, sometimes they say 30 pesos, they leave 100, or, you know, or maybe sometimes more. But every delegation, every Red Cross has to be sustainable. Many people ask me, does the money that we donate goes to Guadalajara? No. The money that people donate here, it stays here. It's to operate the delegation here in Chapala. Every cent, every peso that you donate, it stays here. We operate with that money because the government it helps. It helps, like giving us permits and things like that. But we don't have a donation monthly, or we don't have a donation every 2 weeks. We don't. Who makes it happen, who makes the Red Cross running, is all of you. All the wonderful hearts that you guys have to donate, no matter what. Sometimes when I'm with the little box asking for the donations, sometimes people tells me, I only have 5 pesos, and I said, believe me, these 5 pesos really helps a lot. Because one of the to venoclisis, we call them, to do the IV, we pay about 13 pesos. So that 5 helps for almost half. So every little donation, it helps us. And I mean, it's hard to go sometimes to the very expensive hospitals. We have so many people, and many times they call me, "Ay, Señora Yoli, I need an X-ray, but I don't have the money." So I said, I know there will be a heart to make it happen, and I go ahead. Go to Red Cross, and they call me, and we give them even the X-ray is, the small one is 350 pesos, the other one is 450, but sometimes they don't even have that, even if it's cheaper like that. We do take care of many of the accidents. Many people ask me, but why always, it's like a never-ending story. Why so many times asking for donation? This is what happens. When there is an accident, which we have many accidents here, we don't charge For them, they come, and we don't ask for donation. They come, they help for the accident. We take them to Red Cross, and there is no charge for taking the person to be taken care. So that's one of the things. If the person calls for a service to take them to Guadalajara, there is a donation fee for that. But there is the accidents, no, because many people ask me, well, my son had an accident and they had to take him to Red Cross, and how much is going to be? No, there is no charge. When they're there and they're taking care, and the medicine that we use and the medical supply, and that there is that we ask for a donation to continue buying for the rest of the equipment. But there is no charge for taking the person to Red Cross. And they're always there. For example, yesterday we had a little event in a ranch that they call me and they say, we're going to have an charreada, an event here, and we would like to have Red Cross with this time. You guys can sell food and that. We sell food, we sell drinks, and the extra, we have to pay for everything, and the extra money goes to Red Cross. And there was a little girl that she had a reaction to the horse, and her face was red and everything. And immediately, they were there, they took the little girl, and then the mom comes and she says, but we don't have money to pay, to take her to Red Cross. I said, no, it's nothing. This is an emergency, and we're like, oh really? I thought you always charge. I said, no. There is different ways that we operate, and like I say, it's all of you that make it happen. It's all of you with the wonderful hearts that help these people they cannot afford. We have so many people that, we are here around and we see the nice homes, but there is areas that I go and walk and the poor kids don't even have shoes. And that's why I work so hard here in LCS, because all of you are always doing so much for that people. It's so wonderful that I have learned so much from here that you're not expecting anything. You're just giving, helping. And I want to learn from you to continue doing that. And that's what we try to do in Red Cross. I don't do anything. They're the ones that do it all. I'm going to ask Alice if he can explain a little bit, because I'm only helping to raise money to continue operating, but they're the ones who are doing it. And no, ratito, usted explíqueles qué hacen.
Hello, my name is Alejandro, and I'm part of the ambulance. They are some of my partners, are part of the ambulance. We are the EMTs. We drive, we take care of you when you're sick or you have trauma, you fall. And that's what we are. We take care of you. We go to your houses, we take you from the second floor to the first floor, and then we take you to the ambulance, and then to the hospital. We take you to Guadalajara. We put the IVs, we put the tubes when you can breathe. We do a lot of things. We take care of you when you have an injury, a big injury in the head or in the chest, whatever. If you have a broken bone, we also take care of you. That's what we are. It's not an easy work, it's an easy job, but we do it. Okay.
When he said we take care of you like from the second floor and that, also I had a second accident. I'm always running because I don't want to be late. I don't like to be late to meetings or anything. And one day I was late. So I ran out to my car and I fell. And my foot went back, and I don't know how I tried to hold on with my hand, and I broke my ankle and I broke my wrist. And I saw these guys going by and I said, please, please help me, just help me, take me back to my home, just put me in my bed, I'm fine, I'm fine. And he says, your bone is sticking out. And I said, oh, just push it back, because I saw that in Red Cross. I saw one time the doctor, this lady came, and I don't know how, but the elbow, her bone was sticking out, and he said, take a deep breath and just push it back. And he pushed it back. So I said, there's the same thing with me. And then they just put a bandage and gave her medicine, and she went home. I said, it's the same thing for me. So I told the guy, just push it back, please. And he says, but your hand is out. My hand was like here. And I was like, just push it back, please, please help me, help me. And he goes, hold on, I think I have some bandages in my car. And I said, okay, and I was laying on the floor, and he called the ambulance. And then all of a sudden, I see the guys, and I go, oh, who called you? And they called me to come and help you. And I said, just push the bone back and just put me in my bed and help me. I don't want to go. And they say, no, I'm sorry, we're going to have to take you to the Red Cross. And I said, really? Okay. But it was so funny when he says, we take care of that, we take breakage and that. And then I see that they have these cartons. One time I saw that they saw a really good box and they were cutting it, and I didn't know what for. Well, that's what they put. Some cartons in my hand and in my ankle. And I said, why do you do that? And he says, well, because the bone had to hold still because we're going to put you in the ambulance. And I said, and you don't have nothing else? He says, everything else is so expensive, and this will do the work. And I said, my goodness, now I know why. When they see a very good box, they cut in different angles so they can have the material. So when people has the accident or something, so it be unmovable. But I wanted to do that, and then I told one of my friends about that, what happened to this lady, and they put the bone back. So she broke her elbow. And she didn't want to call the ambulance either. So please don't do that, call the ambulance. Because she said, I was trying to push my bone back and I couldn't do it. Because it was my fault. Because I told her, you know, I saw. And the doctor went and put bandages and she was fine. So she tried the same thing. So please, please, don't try that. Wait for them to help, wait for them to do it. Right, Alejandro? It's not right to do it. Platíqueles.
Most of the times when people fall or they broke a bone, you don't have to move them. If he has an injury, you have to put a bandage or something like that. It has to be clean, and you have to be pressed to stop the bleed. But if there is only a broken bone, you don't have to move the people, the person. You have to wait for the ambulance. Because we move it and we don't have the knowledge, we can get worse the injury, okay? And we can lose an arm or a leg, okay? If the
Artery.
okay. A little nervous, okay? If the injury is in the head, you also have to use a clean bandage and only press. If you see the bone, from the head, you don't have to do nothing. You have to wait for the ambulance. Okay. Most of people also has replacement from the hips, and then it goes off, and then you have to wait for the ambulance. Okay, I don't know if some kind of they have replacement on the hips or on the shoulders, but a lot of people has it. Okay.
Yes, maybe 3 weeks ago, the past. 3 weeks ago, um, I went to one of my friends' home, and she had a broken femur in September. So I go every day to see how she's doing, everything. Made the story short, I went and she says, I was in the swimming pool and something happened to me. And she was laying in bed, she was so swollen and everything, and she wanted to stand. I said, no, no, no. I said, I think the bone is out. I'm not a doctor, but I think the bone is out. And she goes, nah, Yali, you're not a doctor, no, no. And I said, please, please do not move. I'm gonna call the ambulance. No, you're not gonna call the ambulance. I don't want the ambulance. She was like me, don't call the ambulance. So I said, I'm sorry, but please don't be like me when my bone was sticking out and I didn't want the ambulance. So made the story short, I did call the ambulance. Her femur was broken again. It was out. The way she went in the swimming pool, I guess when she was coming out or something, but she said she heard something like crack. So we took her to the hospital, and she had to have a prosthesis, because a new one, because it was broken. So now she says, I'm gonna listen to you. She says, because it was, if she could start walking or doing something like that, I mean, it could be worse, because it was completely broken. It was out. It was sticking out. I mean, the skin was there, but the bone was sticking out. So please, please, many times they say, no, a little cut, no. It can get infected. So it's better to check it out. You guys come, they check it out, they see that, to tell you everything is fine, you can go home, and then just thinking, I'll be fine, I'll be fine. There was another person that had his finger. It was broken. And then he called me, he says, I'm in a lot of pain. Can you please come to my home and cut my hair? And I said, sure. So when I went, I saw his finger really, really swollen. And I go, what happened to your finger? And he says, I don't know, but I think I broke it, but I'll be fine. I said, no. You need to come and check it out, have an x-ray and everything. With the x-ray, they can tell you and see what happened. So they did, and it was completely broken, but it was a little too late. So please, anything, I mean, it's a nice ride in the ambulance. I had two already. It's because it's better. And like he said, like when you're in the second floor, I don't know how they manage, but they bring you down. They take you to them. I mean, they're trained. They're trained in the different grade. They go to different trainings. It's like we work together with the firemen and the Red Cross. Many times you call the Red Cross and you see the ambulance or the firemen come and pick you up. It's because we have so many ambulances, and sometimes they're in service and then they help. But guess what? Most of the paramedics from the firemen, they also work in Red Cross. They learn their techniques in the Red Cross. And sometimes there's some, they even go to work in Guadalajara, but all their techniques they learn in Red Cross. They spend a lot of money in training them, right? Explíquenle.
Most of the course and knowledge about the EMTs is very expensive. Sometimes we don't have the equipment, sometimes we have to buy books, and most of them could be on English, okay? Also, when we have the equipment to just hold a second, I forget the word. When we need the equipment for training, it's very, very expensive. The maniquís that we have in Chapala Red Cross, it has about 15 euros or more. And the new one, It has to be on the tablet or on the computer. And it's easier for us, and we get more knowledge. Okay.
You know, they asked us for training in hammer. Because many times, you know, the kids are learning to work with the wood and they cut themselves and everything, so that they called us if we can train them. So they go and train and give the certificate and everything. So Red Cross went and trained the kids in first aid and CPR. So they made a donation to buy 2 of the bodies for children, because we don't have the ones for children. And since they have the training for CPR and that, they got together and they made a donation for the training, like he says, because now it's everything with computers, you know. So we're gonna buy 2 of the baby and like an 8-year-old body to do trainings for that too. But we also do trainings for CPR. We can do it here. They just told me that they want to offer all of you a training for CPR and first aid. And you know, they have the certification to do that, and they give you a certificate. So if you decide you would like to do it, Steve, you guys decided to do it here, we'd be more than happy. We do it to many of the restaurants like Sane, also, you know, the salsa and everything, factories and churches and everything that they ask for the training, we do it. But they want to give you the training here. So he will explain.
I'm sorry, I'm very nervous on public, but I can try to speak. We have certified by American Heart Association for CPR and for training you, and about the Committee on Trauma, the College American of Surgeons. Yes, we can training on you about the program for stop the bleeding. Well, yeah, you know. Okay, for the strokes or fainting, we can do many things for you. Yeah, you need to understand. We only don't want your donations. We can give you something. For, yeah.
That's so wonderful. I'm so glad, you know, they're thinking like that. I really love that. That we don't only want your donations, we also want to give you something in return. And that is so wonderful. And even, you know, when we go to people's homes, because people sometimes donate their dinners. They invite their friends, and they tell their friends, I invite you to dinner, but I will sell it to you for 500 pesos, and the money goes to Red Cross. What we do, and they do come, what we do, we help for the kitchen, we clean up, we pick up, you had them in your house, and they're always there, you know. And if there is like a little accident or something, immediately there, and they always say there. And I really love what he said. We're here to give something in return too. I only give my time. That's all I give to you, to Red Cross. But they teach me so much, because they also help people to make them feel better. Just to see, I remember, you know, when my first accident, just to see somebody helping, they know, I mean, even just to stop the bleeding makes you feel better. So there we are. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much. That's so wonderful. I love your heart.
Gracias.
Thank you, everybody. So we're going to take questions from the audience. And so can we start with you? Let's see, do you have another handheld mic? Do you have a pretty loud voice? Okay, let's see if it works. Well, one is you can make one today. We're actually going to give, Steve is standing there, all the donations we collected today for the Lake Chapala Society, we're going to give to these.
Oh,
But I mean, if you wanted to give more of your money at the home,
Gracias.
where would you go?
Where can they give their money? How do they donate to you?
you can go to Red Cross, you can stop in my shop, you give me your email address, your phone number, and when we deposit the money in the bank, we send you a copy of the receipt.
Okay, that's fine, so just fine. My second question is, since I do live alone, my fear is, what, in the middle of the night, I think I'm having a heart attack. So I call you folks, right? And is that correct? I would call you folks first, and then you keep talking about taking you to a Red Cross hospital, and I'm just, what is the procedure? Where would you actually go?
Puede ser a cualquier hospital. Many people, they don't want to be taken to Red Cross. They have their hospital or they have the doctor that works in certain hospital. So you can just tell the paramedic said, I want to go to this or that hospital. Or we have these bottles. These bottles have all the information in here that tells us where to take you in case. Okay. There is a little magnet inside this bottle that you put it in your refrigerator. When they see, enséñales el magnético, ¿no lo traen? When they see the magnet in your refrigerator, they know there is information of you in your refrigerator. Some people put it in the freezer, some people put it in the refrigerator. But seeing this, we know it's there. And there is the phone number directly because, I'm sorry, in Mexico they started with 911, but it's so hard to get through. It goes to Mexico City, Guadalajara, Ocotlán, Chapala. So it's better. We continue paying the landline. I mean, they told us you need to stop. I didn't. I'm sorry, I did not listen to them because it's important to have the direct line. And we do have it, and the magnet has the number. So it has the instructions in here, and there is to fill out who to call in case of emergency, who's your doctor, everything. This. Yes.
Okay, gracias. Thank you for your time. I'm wondering if you have a goal for education, money you need to raise to educate the paramedics, and if so, how much? Sometimes it helps to know we need 1,000 pesos for a class or 2,000 pesos for a class. Do you have any of those?
¿Cuánto les cobran para ustedes? It varies because of the different schools. It varies. We do capacitate them. They have to keep having their certification every year. Every year we do, and it's like 6,000 something for each. So this is what we do. We make events, and I always tell them, you guys pay half, and with the event, we'll pay the other half. Sometimes they say, I cannot afford. So this is what we do. And Chapala is very, very, very busy at the weekends. So we have, I'm going to tell you the truth. We use the restrooms and we charge them 5 pesos, and then they make the money for their half to pay their half. That's what we do, because they have to continue training, and every school is different.
Tetanus shot. You give tetanus shots?
Excuse me?
It's every 10 years, you're supposed to have a tetanus shot in case you were injured in some way, and it's time for me to get a tetanus shot. Do you offer those?
We don't offer those.
You don't?
No.
Okay.
Centro de Salud, which is from the health department, they give it to you free. One here in Seis Esquinas, one in Chapala, Mezcala, Ocotlan, but here we have the Seis Esquinas.
Okay.
We do
good.
have it, and it's free.
The other thing, you take credit cards for donations.
We do.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Hello. Once I went to the Red Cross for X-rays. It was an excellent service and very affordable. However, I would like to know what is the territory that they cover? From Chapala to Jocotepec, or what is the extension?
We don't have frontiers.
Okay.
We don't. Like if many of the babies from Mezcala, they have their babies in Red Cross.
Okay. Friday morning, at Molino, I almost had head-to-head accident. I called 911. I was on call for more than 5 minutes. But the Red Cross did not arrive. It was somebody else.
Yes,
And
that's
they
how
were not
it is.
well trained. I had to help him because my passenger was injured. And then they took it to the Cruz Verde, the worst hospital I have ever seen. So you say that there is no limit. How
No.
come they did not send the Red Cross when I called 911?
Because you see how far it is, so we connect. Like I told you, we call the other ones that are closer to you so that they get there faster. This is like if there is an accident.
So is there any Red Cross on Jocotepec?
No, there is no Red Cross in Jocotepec. There is no. We do sometimes. We take care a lot of San Juan Cosala. And if they call us from Jocotepec and Cruz Verde, like you say, it's really busy, we go and help. We work together because that's the only way we can continue. We only have 3 ambulances, and sometimes they're busy. So what you do, if you call direct to Red Cross, they find a way to help you as faster as we can. I'm sorry that that it was really bad there, but that's what they had. But we do call.
Several years ago, I live in a gated community. Red Cross came and gave us a lecture in the little jar like you were just showing. Do you still provide that?
Yes.
Okay, great. And also, I'd like to comment on a little card that I've had beside my bed for maybe 10 or 15 years, provided by the Red Cross, that translated heart attack, Spanish, stroke, Spanish to English, or English to Spanish, and that I've relied on that card. It's never moved from my bedside for probably over 10 years.
Gracias.
I know, I've never been into a place. Where is the hospital located?
You know the main street?
Canada?
All the way, and you turn right, and you find Red Cross. You know the park, Christiania Park? You turn right, and it's number 1. González Gallo, number 1. We are there. Anybody can tell you, but this main road takes you all the way.
I have a question about regulations as far as accessibility for the ambulance to come. I live in a small development, 16 units, 8 on the ground floor, 8 on the second floor around the pool. And the gate does not permit the Red Cross or any ambulance today to access to the buildings. So they have to park on the street. And is there any regulation, is there any code for buildings that they should not have an arch that prevents the Red Cross or the fire department of acceding?
Eso no es de nosotros. See, that's one of the things that when they give him the permit to build, he says that they should have that, especially when there is a lot of mature people living there. They supposed to have, but like he says, if they don't have it, they manage. They bring you out one way or the other. That we don't know because we are private, you know. Their regulations is their regulations. They should.
Everybody can't hear you. She's talking about how important it is to, just check out what the regulations are, because there's many small communities at Lakeside that don't have direct access because whether it's an arch or a decoration of some sort that prevent that. Yeah, it sounds like a really important thing to be able to figure out.
Go check it out.
Where she should go to check it out? To Delgado, right? Maybe the Delgado.
That's the problem, is that regulations are made and there's no one to enforce them. So, well, if there's no regulations,
So maybe you two should talk to each other afterwards, or whoever else is interested in this, and kind of come up with a plan of how to check it out and where to go. I mean, my thought would be the Delgado, but I don't know. It's actually probably bigger than that. Okay, this is the end of our time together. They're going to be here if you want to talk to them, if you would like to add a little more to your donation today, since you thought you were just giving it to the damn Lake Chapala Society. Now that you're giving it to Cruz Roja, you might want to give a little bit more. And thank you all so much. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Steve's going to make a quick announcement. Wait a minute.
I just want to, the Red Cross has always been very important in my life. When I was a young child, I was a volunteer at the local Red Cross up in my hometown in Massachusetts. And then I came down here and had the honor and pleasure of meeting this wonderful woman here and seeing all the work that they do. Yesterday at one of the fundraisers, I met one of the gentlemen that was there who was in a restaurant, and there was an expat that was choking on some meat. And she introduced me to this person from the Red Cross that just jumped right in and did the process to, expel that and save the guy's life, basically. And I've seen so many different instances here in Lakeside, and where she'll send me a text message saying, Steve, well, a picture of somebody that maybe was hit by a car or hit by a dog, what have you, that they have in their care, and they say, Steve, do you know who this person is? Because we can check our records also to see what we have on file with our post-life program. So there's a lot of collaboration between the two organizations, and so I'm very appreciative of that and thankful of that. I can't imagine a community without the Red Cross. One important question that has come up is, when do you not call Red Cross? So correct me if I'm wrong on this, but if you're in a household where there's a person that becomes deceased in the household, that is not an example of the best time to call the Red Cross. Their job is not to deal with deceased persons. They have to, by law, call the police and other people. Really, if you have a significant other, a family, friend, roommate, or whatever the case may be, that happens to pass away while you're at home in the middle of the night, somewhere, your first person to call is the doctor. A doctor is the person that has to declare the person deceased, okay? So not the Red Cross. That's correcto, ¿verdad? Okay. But I want to give some credit to this woman. So here, she has a beautiful salon right over here next to El Torito. That's enough to keep anybody busy owning your own business. She's also the president of the Red Cross. She also oversees a clinic in Chapala, but she also, in addition to being my dear friend, she's also the vice president of Lake Chapala Society. And we're so happy to have her as part of our team. She really keeps us focused. She founded here at LCS the Mexican Advisory Council, and she also heads up that really, checks out programs and how can we be addressing the needs of the local Mexican community. So she does so much, and she deserves so much credit for all that you do. And typical, wonderful Mexican mom, you don't want to take credit and attention on you, but you deserve it. You're a wonderful person. Thank you so much.